Hello, I am recording from the countryside in France, and I am wanting to make a few comments or suggestions to you, or even ask a few questions as you read this section about forgiveness. The first scene that I wanted to draw your attention to was at the end of chapter 12 of part 4, where Daria Alexandrovna, or Dali, is speaking to Karenin, and Karenin is expressing his determination to divorce Anna. Um, and Dali is very upset by this, and she refers to her own example as an illustration of how that might not be necessary. And she says in my translation, "No, wait, you must not ruin her. Wait, I'll tell you about myself. I married. My husband was unfaithful to me, and in anger and jealousy, I was about to abandon everything. I was on the verge myself of ellipsis. But I came to my senses, and who was it but Anna who saved me? And here I am living on. The children are growing up. My husband is returning to his family and is aware he has done wrong. He is becoming purer and better, and I live on." Another ellipsis. "I have forgiven, and you must forgive." Alexei Alexandrovich listened to her, but her words no longer had any effect on him. All the rage he had felt on the day he had decided on divorce rose up again in his soul. He shook himself and said in a shrill, loud voice, "I cannot forgive. I do not wish to, and consider it wrong. I have done everything for this woman, and she has trampled everything into the mud, which is her natural milieu. I am not a spiteful man. I have never hated anyone before, but I hate her with every fiber of my being, and cannot even forgive her, because I hate her too much for all the wrong she has done me," he said with tears of anger in his voice. "Love them that hate you," Darya Alexandrovna whispered shamefacedly. Alexei Alexandrovich smiled contemptuously. He had known this for a long time, but it could not be applied to his case. "Love them that hate you, but loving those whom one hates is impossible." I'm interested in this idea that, first off, that it might be possible to love people who hate you, but that it's not possible to look past your own hate to love somebody. This is what strikes me as an especially Tolstoyan moment, where what's getting in the way is not other people, it's yourself. You're the problem. Um, and so it's Karenin's own hatred of Anna, his kind of calcified anger at her and her betrayal and the way that she's treated him and his reputation. That's what's standing in the way of his being able to forgive her. But the thing that causes me deeper questions actually is, so just a few chapters later, in chapter 17, we have this dramatic scene at Anna's bedside when she thinks she's dying, and she calls in Vronsky and she calls in Karenin and forces them to speak to one another, and she's only semi-lucid. But this culminates in a moment where Alexei Alexandrovich, Karenin, decides to forgive her and Vronsky. And this is at the end of chapter 17, and I just wanted to present it to you as a question. What's happened here? What's happened between these two scenes? And then what happens after this scene? Are we supposed to see this as a genuine moment of forgiveness? How are we supposed to interpret what this moment means? Because this is what Karenin says to Vronsky. "I beg you to listen to me. This is crucial. I need to explain my feelings, those which have guided me in the past and will continue to guide me, so that you do not misunderstand me. You know that I had decided on a divorce and had even begun proceedings. I will not conceal from you that I was in a dilemma when I began proceedings, and I was in agony about it. I confess that I was obsessed with a desire to take revenge on you and her. When I received the telegram, I came here with the same feelings, and I'll go further. I wanted her to die. But, ellipsis. He paused to consider whether he should reveal his feelings to him or not. But I saw her and forgave her, and the happiness of forgiveness has revealed to me what my duty is. I have forgiven her completely. I want to turn the other cheek. I want to give my shirt when my coat is taken from me, and I pray only that God does not take from me the happiness of forgiveness." There were tears in his eyes, and Vronsky was astonished by his radiant, serene expression. "That is my position. You can trample me into the mud, make me the laughing-stock of society, but I will not abandon her, and will never utter a word of reproach to you," he continued. "My duty is clearly marked out for me. I must be with her, and I will be. If she wishes to see you, I will let you know, but now I believe it would be best for you to leave." Again, I want to pose you the question, how genuine is this? Is this a real moment of forgiveness? Does Karenin understand forgiveness? And if so, what happens after?